Too Diep sat in front of the camera, her eyes sparkling with joy and a touch of emotion she couldn't quite hide. She began with a heartfelt thank you to everyone who had followed and supported her throughout her journey. But today, what she was about to share wasn't just an update, it was a turning point. A moment that would forever change the course of her life. She had officially become a mother. But not the mother of little Nee, as many had once believed or hoped. No. This was a different story. A deeper one. Her life had shifted since she and her husband James, a foreign businessman, chose to settle in the Vietnamese countryside. Together they built a peaceful home filled with love, surrounded by gardens, chickens, fruit trees, and warm home-cooked meals. Amid this quiet life, a desire began to grow in Too Diep's heart, the longing for a child. Someone to love, nurture, and raise. James once gently asked, "Would you consider adopting Nee?" That moment struck a deep chord in her. Too Diep had loved Nee dearly, an innocent little girl who had once filled her life with sunshine. But this was more than just affection. It meant responsibilities, legal hurdles, societal expectations, and the raw truth of whether she could give a child the life they deserved. She didn't answer right away. Instead, she took time to reflect. She and James sat down and talked through every detail, the stability of their home, their financial readiness, and the legal process. That was when Too Diep did something she never imagined herself doing. She transferred ownership of a plot of land worth about 600 million VND into her own name, using it as part of her financial evidence in the adoption application. There were no sponsors, no big organizations backing her, just her unwavering desire to be a mother and the steady support of James, who quietly stood by her side through every step. They met with lawyers, visited local police, submitted documents to provincial authorities, and made dozens of trips to get everything in place. Each signature, each official stamp, felt like one step closer to fulfilling her dream. And then, an unexpected turn. It wasn't Nee. Instead, the local authorities introduced her to another little girl, an orphan with no family, no one to call her own. They asked Too Diep if she would consider adopting this child instead. A quiet, vulnerable girl with eyes full of uncertainty. In that moment, as Too Diep looked into those eyes, mirroring the pain and abandonment she had once known herself, she knew she didn't need more time to think. Hello dear family. There were no grand announcements, no celebrations, no parties. The day she became a mother was simple, just her, a pen, and an official document confirming she had become the child's legal guardian. But in her heart, it was one of the most sacred days of her life. From that moment on, she poured her heart into motherhood, buying clothes, preparing school supplies, and cooking nourishing meals. The first time the child looked at her and said, "Mom," her heart trembled. She recounted the day her daughter started school, the way her little eyes lit up, proudly holding her new backpack, her tiny feet skipping towards the classroom. And then that brief pause at the door. The girl turned around, smiled, and waved. A simple gesture, yet it brought tears to Too Diep's eyes. Now, every morning, Too Diep wakes not for work, not for content creation, not for her garden, but because she hears that soft, tender voice, Mom. She became a mother not by giving birth, but by choosing to love, to protect, and to dedicate her life to a child who needed her. In this long, winding journey, through challenges, heartbreaks, legal struggles, and the quiet courage it takes to love a child who wasn't born of you, Too Diep found her purpose. She didn't become Nee's mother, but she became a mother all the same, to another little girl, just as worthy of love. And she became that mother in the most beautiful way possible, through love, sacrifice, and an unshakable commitment to give that child a home, a future, and a mother's heart.
sợ.
Sợ gì? Giờ có 3 giờ ấy.
Sợ gì?
Nó cái này vào cắm đẹp hơn nữa. Cái này vào cắm đẹp hơn nữa. Cái này cắm đẹp hơn nữa.
Cắt.
Vâng, nhập cắt đi. Kiểu à? Thơ à?
Đấy, bọn anh làm gì? Bọn anh làm lấy sau đó trống. Nó lên nó. Cái này thì nọ chứ.
Đúng rồi.
Ai xin 7 ok không chị? Hai mét rồi, còn 2 mét nữa thôi, đèn phát nó còn bắn đâu. Ô, đèn này đeo to à? Không dính nói gì là keo nó dính. Đi bởi vẻ kia đi.
Vâng, biết rồi.
Sao mà đi, ra ba thông tin vé ở ngoài.
Thằng này biết, thằng này biết rồi.
Nó là tầm cuối đấy. Lưu ý.
Các bạn trên.
À, ra lên pin hả?
Ông nghiệp quá, nhìn như không đây quá, nhìn.
Cái này đồ này.
Tốt, cái thằng bắn. Có thằng bắn.
Một ít này là đầy rồi. Một ít này là đầy rồi.
Đó thằng bắn một cái đấy nó đầy mất. Mới bông sắc xỉn. Xoay 360 độ cơ mà. Xoay như này. Xoay phải. Sao? Ủa đâu? Các thằng nói mà em thề mà.
Trước mặt anh là làm không? Đúng rồi, đấy. Mất thôi. nắn lên đi, rồi đây này, đây không? Đây này. Rồi bây giờ anh nắn lên.
Hả?